So what's up everybody and welcome to another episode of Upcoming Mods. I used to be saying those words a lot more often, but with the release of Creation Club, there was kind of a flow of new content to make videos on, and really, I had a bunch of these videos kind of planned out, that being upcoming mods, but the mods kept getting released. For whatever reason, it seems like mod authors have a much quicker turnaround than what they once had. Regardless, there's still been a lot of stuff out there, and I definitely have some pretty cool things to show you today. If you guys do not know, Upcoming Mods is a series where I show you some currently work in progress mods. These are by different mod authors in the community. I'm going to have everything I do show you linked down below in the description, so you can find it all there. Check out some of the Nexus pages or some of the YouTube videos I do show you. So kicking things off, we have the beta release of the Tokarev TT-33. This is a pretty interesting gun. It's kind of one of those older school military weapons that you saw in like World War I, World War II era. Obviously this image looks really cool, but the even cooler part is this actually again does have a beta release. So I downloaded it, tried it out. It's not super polished. It's not the perfect final release version as you would guess in a beta release, but it still is a ton of fun to use. This gun just looks really good. Here's a little story. I used to have a Dark RP server for Gary's mod. It was kind of meant to be like a gangster or mafia RP, but regardless, I played on a bunch of Dark RP servers and they always use World War II weapons, and specifically the Tokarev was one of the weapons I used a lot. I think the gun really speaks for itself, so I'm kind of going on this little tangent, but this gun brings back some crazy memories from back when I played those games. It's really awesome to get to experience it again in a much more modern video game, as well as the gun being undoubtedly noticeably higher quality. And even right now, he is working on a ton of really cool and interesting ones, the M1912, the Tokarev TT-33, as well as a few other things that I think are in the pipework. Definitely a cool one, and one that if you are on PC, you could download right now and experience. So this one looks really interesting. This is going to be by Cannibal Dark. I always think I pronounced that wrong, but no one's ever corrected me, so I'm just going to keep saying it that way. What we have here is a rocket launcher thing. That's the literal name. It's going to be part of Fallout Cascadia, as he does mention in the title of the image. And he does say it was originally just an underbarrel shotgun for the 10mm SMG, but now it seems like something even a bit more interesting. It looks like it's going to be kind of one of those grenade launchers that we have seen in media before. It has a very traditional look, something that we see a lot of in different video games, but also something that's interesting is those gyro rockets. We've seen those in the past. We've actually seen that with the MK41 gyro jet, something that is being worked on by the Rizzler. The Rizzler being the mod author behind the M2045 Magnum revolver rifle. So basically what these are little projectiles that will come out of a gun, typically a larger gun because the projectiles are quite big. And think of it as a mini missile, but kind of using the frame of a bullet. I know the Rizzler was planning on implementing these with a bunch of different components like explosive ones and different effects to each ammo type, and it looks like this rocket launcher thing is going to be using that same ammo, which is pretty cool to see. So we have some images of Augustus Autumn and his jacket. This is going to be part of War of the Enclave, another pretty large scale mod aiming to add in the Enclave back into Fallout 4. If you guys don't know, Augustus Autumn was a pretty main player in Fallout 3. It was basically the main antagonist in that game. He was the commander of the Enclave's army. So a pretty high ranking official, and as you can see, this jacket definitely serves its role in making him look commanding and just all around pretty badass. There's not too much to say about this. Obviously, this gives some insight to the mod that it seems like he is going to be making a reappearance in Fallout 4 in some way, shape, or form. There are of course implications by that, but all around some great progress being made on War of the Enclave that I wanted to keep you updated with. So we have some miscellaneous updates to the AK-5C, a new weapon mod coming from the likes of Axis, a mod author that's produced a ton of great content in the past. I say miscellaneous because it's kind of just a bunch of random images of things that are going to be included with that weapon. First, we have these pretty cool magazines having a very IKEA feel to it, and it seems like these are going to be magazines you do find to get different textures for the weapon. So you can see a bunch of different ones. I imagine whatever's on the cover of those magazines is the texture that you can apply to your weapon. They definitely have a pretty outlandish and all around really cool feel to them. So we have kind of a funny little can. This one definitely looks pretty silly. It basically seems like it's going to be a barrel extension or something to go at the end of your barrel, like a silencer, compensator, etc. And again, it's going to be pretty silly, but I actually really like the look of this. I could see a lot of people really enjoying having this on the end of their gun. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just really immature. Moving on, we do also have some different sights or some high poly versions of sights that I have showed you a bit of in the past. As you can see, these are looking really good. It seems like we're going to have quite a few different options here. The last two actually looking very similar to some SUSAT scopes that have come through with different weapon mods in the past, but all of them seem to be like a reflex sight. Maybe the two larger ones in the back will have some magnification, but the first four definitely seem like they're only going to be one times. All around, some really cool updates. Happy to see progress still being made on this mod, and I just again wanted to keep you guys updated. So then to end things off, we have some further updates to Project Cyberdog. More or less what this is aiming to do is add in Rex, or a variant of Rex, back into Fallout 4. Rex, of course, being one of the dog companions that did appear in Fallout New Vegas. He was robotic, he did have an implanted brain, and it was a really cool and unique companion, definitely different than a traditional dog. In Fallout 4, we got a bit of a downgrade, just a traditional dog. What this mod author is doing is basically creating a little kit to apply to the dogs or dog meat in Fallout 4. Think of it as like an armor to turn him into Rex. I've showed you a lot of these basic images. There's been some massive texture progress, as you can see from these, but even further, we've actually gotten a few different paint jobs for this. The first one was the base paint job, but we also have a police one, which looks really cool, definitely giving you a little bit of competition with the K9 tactical vest that is also available. I don't know, do you want a robot dog or do you want a dog with a bulletproof vest? One seems like it might be a little bit better. Check yourself, Fading Signal. But then even further, we do have some military paint schemes, which I think I might like the K9 one a little bit more, but this also looks really cool, and I think a lot of other people might like this because it'll mesh better with your character. And then finally, just some more progress on the all-around textures. This mod is coming together awesomely. I feel like it's a really underrated mod, something that not too many people are talking about, but is going to be really cool when it is released. And considering the fact that he's moving on to even custom textures and variants, it seems like it's going to be pretty far in its development cycle and potentially close to a release date. As always, I thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this episode of Upcoming Mods. I should have another video of this very shortly. There's been a lot of work in progress mods and images released over the past few days, so you'll see those in the next video, but these were ones that I kind of had in the backlog and did want to show you. As always, again, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you guys all next time. Later.